Welcome to Joe's Astrology. Today is May 5th, Cinco de Mayo, Sunday, 2024. And speaking of Cinco de Mayo, we have we have Mercury in Aries right now. And Mercury in Aries comes under the influence of Mars. And when Mercury comes under the influence of Mars, we think of Mercury as being the mind, particularly the conscious mind. So the mind could say the mind becomes impulsive. When it becomes influenced by Mars, it becomes impulsive. It becomes witty. It becomes somebody who can speak quickly or speaks their mind without much forethought. And we could also look at how Aries is making a sextile to Gemini, and which was where Mercury rules. And when we see Mercury in Gemini, we see very similar activity, where Mercury's kind of jumping around. What it likes to do, it likes to scatter. The mind likes to scatter itself. And it's very much like an impulsive mind, a jumpy mind, a very quick mind. We see it's also making a sextile to Aquarius, where Mercury is exalted. Same thing, ruled by Uranus. Could be considered an impulsive mind, a mind that has flashes of genius, flashes of erraticness. Anything you think of that would describe Uranus. And it's not exactly the same as a Mercury in Aries, but it's very, very similar. I think of Mercury conjunct Mars, where we see, like with a Conor McGregor, someone who's has the ability to speak, that might speak caustically, saying things without much forethought that they may regret, or maybe they don't regret, but other people may look at them as saying things they maybe should have thought twice about. And we see that with the inconjunct to Virgo, where an inconjunct meaning an adjustment. It's not a easy flowing aspect, and we see that inconjunct between Aries and Virgo. Whereas if Mercury was in Virgo, you see a mind who's very analytical, tends to overthink, think about things too much. So we see the difference there between the Mercury in Aries and the Mercury in Virgo. It's not quite, I wouldn't say it's quite in opposition, just like we don't see an opposition in the chart. We see an inconjunct, because Mercury in Virgo can be picky, can be kind of like a nitpicker. In a sense, it's similar to having that Mars influence, where Mars can be it's critical. With Mars there, influencing the Mercury, definitely a Mercury in Aries can be critical, because we think especially the first thing comes to the mind is to critique, or is to just being impulsive. Then the mind can definitely be critical in the sign of Aries, because essentially Aries, and with Mercury in Aries, a person wants to be a leader. They want to be first. In order to be first, oftentimes especially in the world we live in today, you have to speak first. Many people don't speak at all. Think of Mercury in Virgo might not be the first to speak, but with Mercury in Aries, this placement gives the ability to speak first. And sometimes it doesn't matter what you say. It's who's going to speak up first. That's going to be the winner. That's going to be the leader. Planets in Aries want to be the leader. They want to be first. That's the idea of being impulsive. So not necessarily a bad thing with Mercury in Aries. If you can find a place where speaking up first, speaking up without forethought, with no real foundational backing matters, then Mercury in Aries is great. Let's see what else we have going on today. Venus is still in Taurus. I have a video of Venus in Taurus. I'll link down in the description. Moon is in Aries. I'll link that down in the description as well. And we currently have Mars in Aries. Mars, Moon, and Mercury in Aries. So it could be a tendency with a pileup, especially with this pileup in Aries, if you have this in your natal chart as well, to even more so of an emphasis to being in the forefront, speaking up, being extroverted, being assertive. Especially today with that Mars-Moon conjunction, even in just today, I'm already feeling it, waking up, a little bit impulsive, a little bit like, let's go, and I'm there's no real reason for me to feel this way, as far as, I've been busy and you think I would be tired, and I'm just ready to speak and just say and do whatever comes to my mind. So many people, in today's world, in the United States, this is actually positive energy. Sometimes I think maybe astrologers might twist this as being negative. This is extremely positive in today's world. No one, I think of like YouTube, and I think of just in general, the idea of thinking, being humble, thinking of all the Virgo, thinking things over twice. No one really cares about that. No one really notices. And people forget actions and words so quickly now that it's like you think of the online age with the shorts and the TikTok and everything, the quick videos. People will forget what you say so quickly. I mean, I've run across people online in particular where they have no idea that they've spoken to you before or talked to you before. They really have already forgotten even intimate conversations. So this idea of having Mercury in Aries, if you have Mercury in Aries, I'm not advocating living this, like fully embracing this. I'm more of a Virgo person. However, at least I think I am. I might not actually be, to someone else's perspective, but just like anything else in astrology and the zodiac, it's not. It can be looked at as being bad. It can be looked at as being good. It can be looked at as being neutral. So I would say this type of energy is probably more favored in today's world. So I'm thinking of people accusing or making certain signs out to be bad, or even just in general, someone saying that this is a bad quality. You can almost ignore people's advice, and that's what Mercury and Aries probably would do. But you can almost ignore anyone's advice nowadays and get away with it, especially if it's warranted or advice you may need to hear it. And it's pretty interesting, pretty remarkable phenomenon. I've probably done videos on it. I'll probably do more videos on it in the future. So I'm going to leave it there for now. I hope you enjoyed this video if you found it. And if you're new, please subscribe to my channel. I appreciate it. If you enjoy astrology, I will try to give you the best quality and information that is out there based on astrology. And I hope you have a great day.